Right, let's go then. Let's do this. I promised I'd keep you on for around 20 minutes of the evening, 30 max. I don't want to keep you any longer than that so you can get back out and enjoy the last of the sunshine. And last night was fantastic. Thrilled to see some of you already having mindset shifts. So last night we focused on changing our feelings around selling and what selling is. And we shifted to more of a customer service approach. We're just helping people. We're getting in there and how can I help you? And somebody, and I didn't pay them. This wasn't a planted question, but they perfectly teed me up for tonight. Because the question was, but everybody's out there selling coaching services. There's so many people doing marketing strategy, mindset coaches, how do we stand out? And it's the same in industry. There's more than one person doing any one thing. Um, and so connection is a huge part of it, and it's the start of any selling process. It doesn't matter what selling model you look at, it starts with connection or rapport building or whatever it is that you'd like to call it. And out of interest, I'm going to get the chat up. So we're going to do a bit of a vote. You just got to put one word in the chat box once I've explained to you what we're doing. So I think I already know the answer to this, but we're going to do it anyway. If you connected with either Beth or myself and you had some sort of chat, whether that was in the DMs or maybe you met us in a boot camp, you know where I'm going with this, don't you? Or maybe you met us in real life. Put connection in the chat box. If you just came in cold, you just saw a random post on Facebook or Instagram, or I did run some ads. If you came in via an ad, put cold. If you just came in cold and skipped us and you were like, I'm in, I like what I see, put cold. Would you look at that? Connection, connection, connection. Let's have a look. So we've got one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight connections. How many of us on the call? Nine, 10. Yep, Shannon connection. We've got one cold. And I knew Aisha, she just knows what she wants. She saw something on LinkedIn and she was straight in, no messing. I appealed to her senses. And I think there's one other. Yes. Okay. I mean, that's the end of the session. You can all go. So connection is everything. It's everything. If I didn't make an effort with people, get to know people, have a chat with, and I go in and have a chat with everybody that follows me on Instagram, everybody that likes a post, everybody that comments. I'm straight in there. Hey, hi, thank you. Because I genuinely am over the moon, I don't want to feel like I'm talking to nobody. So I connect with people straight away. And another example is if you go to a networking event, yeah, generally you'll have a chat about all sorts first, where have you traveled in from, the weather, very British, anything like that. You'll have a chat. And that connection piece is absolutely critical. How many of you connect with people when, not all of you are big social media users, but how many of you connect with people when they follow you, comment, like a post? Emily, do I DM when they comment on a post or reply to the comment? I'm straight in the DMs, Emily. Where are you? Oh, I can't see you. Straight in the DMs. Yes, but not as much as I should. And it's not me being sneaky or pushing you into it if you were all starting to feel a bit manipulating and like, oh my God, she's tricked us. She's lured us in. It's what we call good customer service. It's like somebody liking your posts, commenting on them, engaging with what you're doing, or even come to chat to you. Let's say you're at an exhibition. Maybe you've got a stall out You've got some leaflets there. Somebody comes over and they're sort of mooching about the stall. That's the same as them mooching around your social media. Like, it's good customer service to be like, oh, hey, hi, welcome. Like, how can I help you? Like, it's the same thing. Or that person, like, I bought a fantastic cardigan on Saturday. I was there, I was sort of I'm in an area and I was looking at one, looking at the other, you know, and you do that little stroke of the sleeve, give it a little touch. And the shop assistant was straight there. Would you like to try it on? You can go in here, have a look in the mirror. And that was it, sealed the deal. I could have easily walked out, if I'm honest. But once I tried it on, sold. Sold. So let's have a look. What are people saying? Um, I struggle with this, to be honest. I get past the thanks for following. It'd be great to learn what you do because then I don't feel salesy. I'll just put like the general how I do a conversation. Usually, I will say, and for everybody that follows me, I'll get in touch. I'll say, hey, thanks for the follow. It really means a lot. Great to have you around. I'm in North Wales, something like that. Where are you in the world? It's very rare I meet anybody near to me, and then they'll reply, yeah, I meet a lot of people from Scotland, actually. It must be a Celtic thing. Yeah, I know, Rachel. We just attract each other. And I'll have a chat, and then I might have a little look on their profile, their Instagram, and just see what they're doing, what they're about, have a chat about that. Probably sounds really stalkerish, but it's just like 10 minutes a day, just connecting with people. I have great chats with people in the DMs, and we have a bit of a laugh. And then once they've answered and they're warmed up a bit, the voice note star, love a little voice note, and just get to know people. And there's a point to it because you are the person behind the profile. There's a human being there. And once you connect with people, you start to build trust and people take notice of what you do. So then when you drop into the DMs, you're like, hey, I've actually got something going on this week. I'm doing this free training. People are like, oh yeah, cool. Send me the details. That sounds really good. I've been following what you do. I'm really interested. There are 46 people signed up this week. Could be 47 now. People are still messaging me asking to join. Is it too late? And the people I've connected with, I'm chatting with. A lot of them I met at a network event last week. If I didn't do all of that, there'd be like maybe one of you, two, maybe the two cold people. But the rest of you know like either one of us. So what's this making you think about? And not all of you are really active on socials. You have different ways of bringing in clients and connecting with people. So, just in the chat box, how does this apply to what you do? What could you do differently based on your industry and how you interact with people? What could you do differently to connect with more people? Because this is just the start of the cycle. People are there. They're waiting for you to invite them in. It's very rare that somebody sees something you've got and just buys it. You know, you've got to take them through the process. And to begin with, you will feel a bit icky and like, oh. But again, let's go back to being good at customer service and acknowledging the people. Just imagine they're in your shop perusing your jewelry or whatever. Or the example we had from yesterday where Beth went to buy a laptop and absolutely nobody went over to help her in the shop. So let's have a look. How could you apply it to what you do? Have I answered that, Jade, about the type of chat I do on Instagram? I did give some examples. What I'll do, I'll just make a note of it. I'll do like I mean I don't like scripts, but just to like give you an idea of how to have that conversation, how to start it. So I'll make a note to myself and I'll pop that in the Facebook group.
I sort of do a little bit, not as much as I could, but do you feel like it's just a game of numbers to convert people, to actual clients, that you can have loads of different conversations and
Yeah.
often go anywhere.
Yeah, I
But
mean, loads of people ghost me. Doesn't bother me. You know, naturally. And I don't take it personally because there are a lot of people who have like automation set up, bots. So when I slide into their DMs, I'm like, hi, thanks for the follow. Maybe one in 10 will reply.
Yeah.
But that's 1 in 10 of you that wouldn't
Yeah.
have
Out
been
of
here if I hadn't have done
nothing.
that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like it's not labor intensive because not everybody replies.
Hmm.
But to be fair, most people do. And I've even had people who have had a bit of a chat and then I've sent them the challenge and then they've not replied. So then the next day I'm like, did I come on too strong? Like just because humor's my thing, right? And then they'll come back and be like, oh no, send me the link. Yeah, no, sorry. They just forgot. It's not that they just suddenly thought, oh, she's selling to me, go away. I had somebody just yesterday, I just dropped back in, followed up, like, hey, what do you think? Did I come on too strong? That's my usual line because it's a bit funny. It just breaks the ice. It's literally doing, it's just breaking the ice. What's everybody else saying? Definitely need to be more active and get over the weirdness. Yeah, if I didn't react to all the likes and comments on all the posts I've been putting out in relation to this over the last couple of weeks, honestly, there wouldn't be half the people that are here. Like, absolutely not. But it's just good customer service to acknowledge people that are acknowledging your posts. I genuinely have a little whoop every time somebody likes or comments on a post. Because I've been at it for a year now, just talking into the ether and getting absolute tumbleweed silence. But since I've been practicing what I preach, my following's doubled in like just over a month, and I get way more engagement than I've ever had. And then that allows you to follow up the conversation. But it doesn't need to be labor intensive, but you do have to make the effort. Yeah, start a conversation. Most of my connections come from networking and referrals. You could reach out. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and Portia's saying I'm quite shy, so it all feels very uncomfortable to me. And we're going to get onto that as well in terms of like what do we share? So the first part is, connecting with people that like or comment on our posts. And to encourage more of that, we need to show people a little bit about what we are, who we are. And it doesn't have to be everything. You don't have to bare your soul. Like for those of you who know me, and this could be a little bit risky, like what do you pick up on from my reels and my posts, from what you've seen? Like there must be some part of it that resonates with you, or you think, oh yeah, and I'd be quite happy to be in her world. I do put a lot of humor. Humor's my thing. Like you've got to have lols, like, you know, and that's quite purposeful because what you put out, and some of us are a little bit woo here, is what you attract in. I like to put out the fun side of me, and I will post myself in my pajamas on a Saturday morning hanging out with my cats because that's real. Nobody looks that and thinks, "Ooh, blinking X, she's not professional." They just think, "Oh yeah, I'm sat in my pajamas too." And there's loads of things you could share. And it's not about sharing everything and, personal stuff. There were a million things I could put on there that you would never know about me. My brother died just over a year ago. His ex-wife died less than a year before that, leaving my nieces and nephews without parents. My mum had a heart attack in January and I was in and out of hospital for 3 months looking after her. Glenn's mum had a stroke a couple of months ago. My life has been an absolute shit show for the last 18 months. But I don't show any of that. Don't share any of it. And you don't have to either. You don't have to share everything. I don't want any of that on my socials. But mainly because for me, they're not just my stories. That's my whole family. So I don't, I mean, you're getting it now, but it's a small group. You're just here with me. It's just us. That's fine. But you won't see it on my socials. You won't see any of that because I want people to come in my space and have fun, have a laugh, learn something, maybe be inspired. I don't want to do it from a place of like having a hard time, if that makes sense. That's my choice. And you can make that choice too. You don't have to share that the hard side of thing. If you want to do that and you want to attract those people because you generally want them in your world and you want to support them, then absolutely. That's completely your choice. But I'm just saying this isn't about sharing absolutely everything in a bid to attract people in. That's completely your choice. Any questions on that? Does that make sense to everybody?
Can I ask a question, please?
You can indeed.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear about all the shit you've been through. That sounds massive. Um,
Still
I
laughing, or maybe I've
yeah,
just lost my marbles. Who knows?
the humor thing is definitely, it runs in the family. You'll know how funny Beth is.
Yeah,
Like it's the way to navigate life, right?
yeah, absolutely.
I don't want to share my private stuff. I've
Yeah,
occasionally put things on about horses, but I
yeah,
felt when it said introduce yourself, I didn't want to say about my husband and my children. I don't know.
yeah.
It's just not who I am.
No, me
And
neither.
but my what was my point? My point was, how do you, like, I feel as a nurse like I need to have a code, an element of professionalism.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be a dick, but but I want to embrace my inner knob, but don't be a dick. That's what I want to do.
And there is a fine line,
Yeah,
absolutely, and I
and I
totally
think that's
get that.
difficult.
Yeah, and you don't have to turn up and swear like a sailor and,
Yeah, yeah.
be too, it's just getting that side of yourself that allows people to see a bit more about you and your personality, because that is the bit that draws people
Mm.
in, like 100%. And that's going to be the task for today. And I'm going to put the thread up. It's just to choose, like, what are those three things about you that are unique to you? Like, I share a lot about Ted. There's always a schnozzle picture on my stories because in my opinion, he's got the best nostrils you've ever seen in your life. They're just sensational. So he always is on there. That doesn't make me any less professional. So I'll share when I've been out with him for the day in the lorry. Just it's just a little bit about me. It's just who I am. I do jokey reels and videos because I can't not do humor. And people always drop in my DMs when I put something funny up and we have a laugh about it because it's connection. My cats are always on there. I don't share loads about my family because my stepson's autistic as well, very limited speech. I don't want him on social media because it's his choice, so you won't see him on there either, even though if I shared that, a lot of people would resonate, maybe people in their family, but I just think it's his choice, so I don't put him on there. You might see him very briefly from time to time, but generally I don't feature him. He can't speak for himself, so don't put him on. And not that I disagree with other people doing it. It's just that's just how I choose to handle it. So there are loads of things that are unique about us that we could share, but you just need to choose what you're comfortable with and what you want to have on there. So that's the task for today. What are those three things like we'd love to know about you? I need to put more of my love of country music on there, actually. I did feature my cow print jacket this week. Absolutely fabulous. So it could be music choices, because again, there's a whole tribe of people that love country music, and it's just things that are like conversation starters. Literally it. So yeah.
Can I ask a
Okay.
question?
Yeah, of course.
This is where I get sort of in a muddle and end up doing nothing because I've got a personal account. I use Instagram all the time, and actually only for
Mm,
this course did I kind of get back on Facebook and kind of reactivate my account and stuff. But I use Instagram quite a lot, and I've got a work account for Blank Canvas Coaching, and I've got a personal one. And I always try and think the work one is sort of professional, and I've got to sort of say something that's relevant and
yeah.
educational and useful. And I'm a coach, so I'm always trying to make it not about me because
Mm,
coaching isn't about me, it's about the client.
mm,
So that's where I just kind of go in circles and sort of think, well, but ultimately, yes, people need to connect with me and feel comfortable with me because that's the
yeah.
whole, there's got to be a chemistry, there's got to be that. But yeah, I get it. I sort of go around in circles and then end up doing nothing.
Yeah, and it could just be you start with one thing. Is it your weekend bike ride? Is it the run you've just been on in the forest? Like it could literally be just one thing if you're going to start somewhere. Or is
Mm.
it, going out with the dog? It could be anything, just a little bit, because people are driven to make buying decisions based on different things. So the educational stuff, of course, people want to learn about you. They want to know a little bit about how you do things, what the process is. And in the day job, I teach disc profiling, so like personalities. So you've got like, your blues who are a bit more on data and proof and statistics. They're the kind of people that before they buy a car, they'll work out what the insurance premium is going to be, miles to the gallon. like Glyn sat down with a spreadsheet before he bought his next car. I'm like, I just want to look cool. I'm all about feeling good. I've got a little sporty blue BMW. Couldn't give a shit the miles to the gallon. I just want to get in that car, drive along, and feel like I'm a little go-kart. Yeah, so people make all different buying decisions. Then you've got like the dominant people, the reds, and it's all about the transformation and the result, and they're drawn by maybe someone else is making £20,000 a month. Like, oh, I want to go with them, I want to follow them. And then you got the greens who are a bit more considered, high empath behavior. So, but it's just covering all of the bases. So sharing a bit of you and your personality is one of them. Value posts definitely to show people our expertise and what we do. What color will we be? I'm a yellow through and through. So generally they're people who are a bit more sort of out there with their clothes. They're like color. They're the people in a party that they all cluster together. They have the noisiest table, lots of laughing, center of attention. Like they are like, I'm here. That's me. Shocker. Um, and then as for details, I'm like, I'm a need to know basis kind of
Yeah,
person.
yeah, yeah,
Top line, I can try and give me details and I just switch off. But everybody's different. Um, so yeah, that's the task, just to think about three things that you're comfortable to share. Like, what are those things about you that are really cool that we don't know? Like something that would be really interested to know, but that you're comfortable to share. And I find with this, it's really useful to ask a friend because I find my friends know me better than I know myself. So I'll be like, what are those qualities that would attract people if I put them out there? Does that make sense for everybody? What are your thoughts? Let's see. Let me go in the chat. Yeah, you don't have to share everything. Absolutely not. Yeah. And I find that all of
Emily,
my
no, you're not. Emily said she's boring.
oh,
Sorry, I'm
absolutely.
just interrupting and talking over you.
We won't have any of that, Emily. We won't have any of that. No, definitely not boring. Nobody's boring. Um, but yeah, so everybody understand the task, happy with what they need to do. It's quite a nice exercise when you ask your friends what they think's amazing about you. Just sit there and lap it up. Just lap it up. Um, and then I'll put what's the word I'm looking for? A thread in the group for you to go in and share. If anybody's brave enough to do a video, go for it. But yeah, the mini bravery task this morning was just to do a quick face to camera video saying how you like your coffee. We're all about small steps, and face to camera scares the bejesus out of people. So you just got to do tiny steps. When I first started talking to my social media, I'd literally post it, run away, not look at it for 24 hours. I'd cringe inside out. Horrific. Mainly because the fear of people I know finding it and seeing it, total strangers, I don't care. But I'm used to it now. Everybody knows I'm doing it. They all tease me and call me an Insta wanker. And we're just, you know what? It's fine. It's fine. It's all good. We're past that now. We're past it. They all used to follow and watch intently, and they're over it now. They're bored of me. Um, People I know not so much, isn't it though, Shannon? Isn't it? It's strange, isn't it? Ask your friends, yeah, get their opinion on it. And I like Rachel who wears like a really cool quirky hat, like a bit of a Fleetwood Mac sort of vibe going on. Yeah, and like the big earrings and love that. So yeah, like what could we see? But I get you don't want to prefer like blur the lines with professionalism. Um, So yeah, just pop three things in there, even if you just come up with one. If you're coming from a place of, I really don't know where to go with this, even one, think of small steps, just one. But it will bring people in, it will attract them in, it will start conversations. And you attract like the people you want to work with as well. If you put out the energies that you most want other people to mirror and come in, that's what you'll get. Like most of us have probably got humor in common. Like, because you see, me or Beth, and we're both all about the humour, so that'll be part of the draw. But yeah, so challenge accepted, everybody. Hopefully it's all making sense. And this week is all about, we're just tackling like us so that we can show up and be confident and, attract more people in. That's just like one like stream of it. There are other parts to the grounding section in the process and the Speak to Sell framework that's more around your actual offers and what you're selling and grounding yourself in those. So we'll do that in the if you choose to continue with us and you do the program afterwards. We're going to go in depth to that and how do you ground yourself in that and get behind it, because you need to be confident and passionate in what you're doing. But this week we're just focusing, it's all about you. Just a nice week to focus on yourself and get confident. Any final questions? Yeah, exactly, Terry. Yeah, because everybody's going through exams this week and people want to talk about it, they're proud, they're stressed, they're nervous.
She's 16, she's not interested in showing up, and that's completely valid. And I don't blame her actually at 16, because some of her friends follow me. But just that list with like, right, the last one's crossed out.
Yeah.
And so much interaction.
Yeah, absolutely. Because there's like the whole of the UK is breathing a sigh of relief this week.
Yeah.
It's over.
Exactly.
I've got a party in my garden at the moment of 18-year-olds just getting their absolutely rat-arsed, and it's quite early on. And my 16-year-old is somewhere on the beach in Brighton in a very small outfit because she's just finished school. So happy days over here.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I could post about Christina being back from uni. She just finished her first year in Liverpool, and
Yay.
lo and behold, the dishwasher's back. Although we have actually replaced her when she moved out. We found we had to do them, so we bought a dishwasher. But, maybe I can give her another job. And it's just stuff people resonate with. So you have the professional stuff, you have your selling, you have your offers, and then in between you have the life stuff that gets people interacting and getting to know you. And that's what starts to build the rapport, the trust, the relationship. And then it's so much easier to invite people in to take part in what you're doing, like this challenge this week. It wasn't hard to drop into people's DMs and be like, "Are you come in? Are you join in?" It's just because you've already broken the ice. But none of us respond well to those cold DMs that slip in. "Hey, ma'am, I've been looking at your website. It's really shit. You need to do this, 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 and this. Let's have a call." Who responds to that? If you'd at least asked me how my day's been or how the weather is, you might have got a conversation out of me, but I'm not responding to that. But anyway, I'm over time. You can tell I like talking. So I'm going to let you all go. Hope you enjoyed the session and that you got a lot out of it. And yeah, I'll get the thread up. I'll get the replay out. And I'll see you all tomorrow night. It'll be double trouble. Beth's back tomorrow. Right, I'll see you in the group.